Welcome back, everybody. It's your friendly neighborhood investor back again, Patrick Curley. I'm here with James French. I believe Mike Matthias will be here shortly. I don't know what he's doing. He's an integrator, so he's probably working on systems. But welcome back, guys. I'm excited to be back here. We're going to be talking today. I've been so freaking busy. We have multiple transactions going on right now. And I wanted to talk about that and also foreclosures, as well as kind of what's going on in the business. And really today, what I want to do is make this a troubleshooting Zoom. Okay, so I really want to dive in and get really up close with you guys in terms of like what you're doing in your business, what's preventing you from getting to the next step, and individual obstacles that you may be facing. And then also, as normal, address any general questions that you may have. Okay, so all right, James, if you could do me a favor, if Mike Matthias gets here, if you can just, I don't know if you can spotlight him. You know what I'll do is I'll make you co-host. Dude, I am trusting you with a massive amount of power, James.
I will do my best. Thank you.
By the way, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. This is awesome. Super stoked to be here.
Yeah, so those of you guys who were not in our previous meetings, James is in the mentorship. He's a Subto student. He's closed some deals and specifically working with foreclosures and door knocking. So he has a deep understanding of the psychology of people that are going through the foreclosure process and has also worked with them in that process. So before we jump in and let this just spiral out of control with questions. Oh no, I was hoping that I would whiteboard. Oh, there it goes. Okay, it's working. I wanted to talk to you guys today about mindset a little bit. Oh, we don't want to see my emails. There's too much going on in there. So right now inside of the business, we have cash and creative. Let's see if I can put this somewhere else so I don't. So we have a cash biz and we have a creative biz. This one is, honestly, this one is getting pretty close to dialed in. This one we're figuring out, right? And so this month we've got 3 under contract. Two of those will close, and we're working on one right now that will close. So roughly 60K in revenue. And then for the creative biz, we just learned the other day that Hector, is Hector here? I don't know if he's here. If you're here, Hector, in the chat, say what's up. We got one deal in San Antonio. Subto. And another Subto in Florida. God, I can't even remember the city. That's how tired I am today. But we'll just say Florida. And I think that's why Nat has his hand raised. Nat, if you got a question, I'm going to get to it. But you know what I am going to do is I'm going to pull you up on stage. Hold on one second. Let me pull your butt up here. Where are you at? There you are. At Spotlight. What's up, dude? Unmute. I want to say hi to you.
Hi, Patrick. Hi, James.
What's up, dude?
Hey.
I'm so excited to learn that. And thank you very much, Patrick, for your help. I just submitted the deal to you, and then you texted me saying that that one would be under contract.
I just want you to know 2 things. Number 1, well, no, 3 things. Number 1, you're a badass. How long have you been in real estate for?
I joined this one like
a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So you've literally been in real estate in a couple weeks, and you're going to get your first deal. Is that correct?
No, I've been there. Like I just up too. But what I mean is, when I joined this, like a week ago. I mean, like a few months. I know, few weeks. I forgot. I called. But before, I also joined, but the leader didn't do the direct to agent thing. So I brought deals to him, but he didn't do anything. So
Well, I'm glad they didn't do anything because now it's my deal.
Yeah.
So number one, okay, so how long have you been like trying to close a deal? Give me that number. Trying to build some context here.
Like I've been here almost a year already. So
Oh, okay. So you've actually been trying for a year then. And then so, okay. Well, it seemed pretty fast because you literally brought me one lead and I closed it. So I thought that was incredible. And so congratulations. Number one, you're awesome for taking action, guys. And so I'll say this time and time again, and I'll say it until you guys get tired of hearing it. I want you to hear it in your sleep, actually. I want you to have nightmares and hear my voice. It's not about skill. It's not about knowledge. It's not about your team or this or your technology. It's about one thing and one thing only, and that's consistency, guys. If you are consistent, if you merely opt in, if you merely look at the script, practice the script, call. If you do those things, then you will close the deal, guys. It's that simple. So congratulations on getting, is this your first deal?
yeah.
Let's go. Guys, give them
them
some love. Give them some love in the chat, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Nice work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really pumps me up and I feel more confidence. Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
When you fill us in, like how you did it, where it came from, what the deal's about. Can we hear that? Is that cool, Patrick?
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us how you found the deal and how it went.
Me?
Where did you find the deal and
Oh, I got that from your list in Florida.
Yeah.
And I called them all and this one I follow up second time. Hey, no. Oh, I have no question, but after this, but that one I call and then I've submitted 3 deals to you, right? And this one just accepted.
Love it. That's it. It's consistency. Good for you, man. I am proud of you. This is a good deal. We're going to be going under contract today, actually. But yeah, it was an astounding yes from the agent. I recorded the call and I recorded it on Zoom. So I'll be posting that to YouTube so you can see me actually close over the phone. Cool.
Awesome.
Awesome, bro.
Thank you. And I had 2 more questions.
I know you do, and I'm not going to answer them now. All right. I'll answer them in a minute. You can put your hand back up, but I'm going to take the spotlight away.
Okay.
Appreciate you, bro. Look,
Sure,
if I don't take control of these meetings, other people will.
Okay.
All right. We'll get back to you. Okay.
Sure.
Action, guys. Action. So I want to show you something. This is really important. So I know personally, we've had over 100 people in our meetings. Okay. And if I come in here to my CRM.
Did it go blank or is that just me?
Are you guys not seeing my screen?
I just went to like a blank Zoom screen.
Can you guys see my screen okay?
Oh, there we go.
Should be a bunch of numbers.
Hey, what CRM do you use?
This is Go High Level. It's commonly known as like REI Reply, Astro Blaster.
Oh, it's all the same thing?
It's all the same program. Yeah, it's just white labeled. So I've white labeled mine. It's called leadfix.io. I will be reselling this to you guys sooner or later, but it's just not ready for rollout yet. So here's what I want to show you guys, because I'm a big metrics fan. We track everything. I track how many times I go to the bathroom in a day. That's a joke, guys. I'm just kidding. We track metrics going out, how many calls, texts, connections, all that stuff. And so what I wanted to show you today was the funnel that we have for you guys. Where do I find this? Where do I find this? God, I was just, bear with me here. See, even I have brain fart moments, guys. It's in here somewhere. Forms. Oh, here we go. Analyze. So we're talking about action, right? And in the chat, what's the number one thing, the number one metric to measure that's going to move your business from broke ass biatch to ballin'? What is the number one thing, guys? What's the metric that you should be tracking? In the chat right now, put it in the chat. Leads, conversions. Yeah, these are all applicable words. There's one action that you should be taking that's going to move everything for you. Nobody's got it so far. I've said it many times. It's not calls. Yes, Ty got it. Ty, I might have to put you on my team. Kalila got it. Yeah. Okay, now people are getting it. Conversations. How many conversations did you have in a day? Okay, if you have 10 conversations in a day, that's 50, and Monday through Friday, there's 4.3 weeks in a month. At the end of the month, you've had 215 conversations. If you convert at 2%, that is 2 deals, and you will be a baller, and we can go get tacos and tequila together. Okay. All right. Does that sound like fun?
And it doesn't even have to be on Taco Tuesday.
Dude, I'll do it on a Monday like a freaking savage, right? That's really where it's at, guys. And so if we take a look at this. So out of the hundreds, literally hundreds of people that I've had in our Zooms, we've only had 134 people opt in to get my free resources. I'm literally giving you guys a free education, right? Only 134 people. Now, out of the 134 people, only 28 of them recorded their phone calls. So 28 of these people actually want, oh, actually, no, this is incorrect because there was one person, God, what's his name? It'll come to me. One person recorded like 8 calls. I might have to have them join my team. And then 31 of you guys submitted deals. So out of 134 people, I think like maybe 6 or 8 people recorded their calls and only 31 submitted deals. So this to me is interesting, guys. A lot of people didn't even bother to opt in. They didn't even like bother to say, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot. So what I want to know now from you is what is stopping you from getting your first deal. What I want to know right now is what is stopping you from getting your first deal. So if you want to talk to me, raise your hand. Guys, put yourself out there right now. Do you want to grow? My biggest regret joining, or excuse me, my biggest regret in my business was not going to more of these meetings. It was not asking more questions. And it was my number one was not actually joining a team, starting a team. When I did all of those things, now I'm closing multiple transactions every month. Every month, guys. We don't have a month where we don't close. Cindy Zerlin. You're on mute, by the way.
Oh, yeah, you asked. Well, okay, so,
I fully expected you.
well, you asked. So you're asking what's stopping me. What's stopping me is my business. But you know what? Today I think I only did like 10 or 15 calls. So what I'm trying to do is either do Tuesdays or Fridays dedicated to this. But that's
in one sentence, what's stopping you?
That's it.
Making more calls.
Yeah, I need to do
okay,
calls.
what's stopping? Yeah. So this is why I wanted to talk to you, because you're the only one who has the cojones to come up here and tell me what's going on with you. But everybody in here is experiencing the same thing. So thank you for that, number one. Now, what's preventing you from making more calls?
Okay, so organization, because I'm running a business. So I have to dedicate a block of time. Today, I only did 15 or 20, right?
Okay, stop. Thank you. What's preventing you from becoming organized?
Nothing. I just decided how to get organized this week.
Beautiful. I love it. And
I don't know what to tell you.
And when you guys do
you
that,
have to make a choice.
Right. Thank you. You just said the word. Actually, the better word would be decision. It's the Latin root is to cut off. You cut off any other possibility when you decide. You truly decide. I burn my boats. I used to run marketing for other businesses, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to fire most of my clients, and I had to make money in real estate. So I burned my ships, right? The exercise that I just went through with Cindy, if you're falling asleep right now, if you're on your phone, wake up and pay attention, because it's going to make you a lot of money. That exercise that I just went through, if you take yourself through that on a weekly basis, you'll be rich by the end of the year. Because all of us have real reasons, real excuses for not to do what we need to do. They're real. Cindy she's got to do this other thing. It's standing directly in her way, and that's real. But if you stop there and you don't ask yourself, well, what's preventing me from that? And what's preventing me from that? And what's preventing me from that? You will get to what we call a core. And at that core is a decision. Perhaps you didn't give yourself permission to believe in something that's compelling. You don't think you can make 6 figures in a quarter or a month, right? But at the end of the day, there is something very simple at the very bottom of this standing in your way. I literally just had this conversation with one of my team members. She came in and she was smoking everybody else on my team. She's smart. She's got chops. She's got skills. And I was like, what's going on? Oh, this and that and this time and schedule. Okay, great. What's preventing you from figuring that out? Oh, this and that and this and that. Okay, great. What's preventing you from that? We got all the way down to it. And she goes, you know what? I'm not motivated. Great. Why aren't you motivated? I don't know. And you know what motivation is, guys? It's knowing your goals with extreme clarity, extreme clarity. And some of you probably don't even have any goals because you don't know what to do or where to start. And that's okay. Think about how much money you want to make. And then you work backwards. So as soon as I said that, I said, what do you want? How much do you want to make? And I said, great, that's how many calls you need to make. And she left that Zoom going, what am I doing? I'm wasting time. I can't be on this Zoom with you, Patrick. I gotta go. Right. And I said, good, you've got it. You got it. Hold on to that. And it's a practice. You have to continuously remind yourself. So why am I talking about this right now? Nothing that I can teach you in this Zoom matters unless you have an engine in between your ears. And the only person who can tune and tweak that engine is you guys. I'm not Anthony Robbins, Tony Robbins, guys. I'm not Pace. I'm just an investor, just like you. The only difference is in between my ears, my engine is tuned like a mofo. Okay. I wake up and go to sleep thinking about the shit. And I love it. And I'm going to grow and grow and grow and get better and ask myself how I can always get better. Okay. So last thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to get off my soapbox here in a minute. Cindy, I appreciate you, by the way. Cindy's the only one that usually has cojones to talk to me. I don't know why. Am I that intimidating, guys? Last thing I'm going to say to you is that your brain is an answering machine. If you ask questions, it will give you answers. You just have to ask the right questions. The wrong questions is why do I suck at this? The right question is, how do I get better at this? Right? The wrong question is, why do I have to get up so early? The right question is, how do I love getting up this early? What am I living for? Why do I need to get up earlier than everybody else that I'm competing against? Those are better questions to ask. Does that make sense, guys? In the chat, yes or no? Are you awake? There's 51 people in here. I want at least 50 yeses. And if it's no, that's cool. I could say it a different way. Good. I'm seeing the yeses. I love it. All right. Now, how do you guys feel? You guys feel ready to take some action? Right? Kind of helps to clear all the bullshit out, right? Love it. I got a woo. Jesse said woo. Okay. All right. I'm going to take some questions now. And then we may segue away from that to talk about foreclosures for a minute. But let's take some questions since there's some questions in the air, or some hands in the air, I should say. Jane, I'm going to bring you up. What's up, Jane?
Let me unmute. I have been calling and calling. Maybe I'm calling the wrong people. It's like 2 hours a day, 5 days. I just started, so I haven't been doing too much, but I call the absentee owners, tired landlords, and also the numbers that you guys were giving, the free foreclosure list. In going through all, maybe about every 200, I get like contact 5 contacts, maybe 5 to 7, and 5 of them says we have sold it, and I follow up, and then they're saying we are closing next week, something like that. So, and the other question is, am I targeting the wrong list? Or because I what is it? I paid for to get the lead.
Yeah, so this is a very broad question, and there's multiple factors that go into that question, right? So let me get in, and there's a lot of different answers, right? So when I first started, I was all over the place. Tired landlords, love it. Low equity, give me more of that. Foreclosures, everything, blah, 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 blah. I was everywhere. I was spending money on ads, and I was getting leads from everywhere. But what I realized was that unless you focus on one thing, you're really never going to have consistent revenue. and getting good and scaling at that one thing is what you want to focus on. And so you may focus on one thing and you may have the same result as you're having now, but at least you can measure what you're doing. Does that make sense? Because if you're splicing your energy on foreclosures, low equity, and whatever, you're on market wholesale deals or whatever it is, you're doing too many things, especially if it's just you, right? So let me break this down for foreclosures, for example, right? And we talked about this last week, okay? So foreclosures, and I'm sure James is super familiar with this as well. You know, you have like a 3-week window of time. Week 1, week 2, week 3. This is the auction date. That says action date, auction date. Bear with me, guys. I didn't get much sleep last night, and I don't care. I'm still on fire today. That's the auction date, right here. This is, oh shit, right? I got to do something. I've already tried everything. And some of them will let it go. I've actually talked to a guy. He's like, I'm just going to let it go, man. And I'm like, dude, I can save your credit. And he's like, I don't care. He's ready to jump off a bridge. And I just didn't have it. Yeah, you know, I didn't have the Tony Robbins in me to turn him around. And that's okay. You're going to lose some. But the point is that this is where people need to take action. Week 1 is you're just introducing yourself. Hey, I'm a real person. Hi, I'm here to help. We help people navigate foreclosures. There's actually 8 things that you can do to stop a foreclosure. And I know that you may not want to talk to me today, and that's okay. If you're not open to discussing this, I can follow up with you a later time. But I'm just curious, before I let you go, John, have you taken any of the 8 steps to stop this foreclosure? And what are your plans? Were you actually planning on saving your home, John? Right? You start the conversation. And most of them are going to say what?
I'm gonna keep my own.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it. I don't need your help. F you. So now let me ask you, if they say that, Jane, F you, what do you do?
Well, able to start a conversation because the numbers I dial are not, people are not picking up. And there is no conversation, kind of. That's my problem.
That's a great question. Okay, so let's go back. Well, actually, let me finish this point. The point that I want to make here, guys, is that you're going to get some no's, but you got to keep following up, especially if it's foreclosures. Okay. Now, if we have a problem or an obstacle, and this is great, by the way, this is a perfect question for the Zoom because we're troubleshooting, Jane. So you're making calls.
Correct.
So you're not making connections, correct?
Yes.
So when we in my business, we look at this, I'm not even going to pull it up right now because it'll melt your mind. We look at so many metrics and so many conversions that give us data points, conversion points as to what we may be able to do to change the situation. So what can change this? What is the change that we can make in terms of making connections? Guys in the chat, let's work on this together right now. I already know the answer, but I want to hear it from you. What could you do to increase the connection, guys? In the chat. I want to know that this is not TV. I can see all of you. You have to interact with me.
If you can give their email, you can do that. Or follow up with
I can't, whoever's speaking, you're speaking so softly. I cannot hear what you're saying.
Okay.
Put it in the chat.
What about email?
Please type it in the chat for me. More calls, keep following up. So that goes with more calls. 3 times a day. Great. So they just answered the question. Somebody said 3 times a day, which is variable times.
Yes.
Maybe they're at work, right? Maybe you just caught them at the wrong time. Are we calling on Saturdays and Sundays, right? And then the other one was just volume. The times per week. And then frequency. What does that mean? Isn't volume and frequency the same? Frequency. You know you're a bad speller when spell check has no idea what you're talking about. So frequency, which means double and triple dial. Triple dial. I do that all the time, even from my normal phone. I'll double dial my own freaking team members. Right. They didn't pick up the phone. I'm gonna call them again. Right? It works. I know if somebody double dials, actually, if somebody triple dials me, for me personally, if somebody triple dials me, I'll be pissed, but I'll pick it up because I'm like, somebody's trying to get a hold of me. What's going on? I'm trying not to swear that much on these. I'm trying to coach myself. But right, that's frequency. Okay. And source. Where are you dialing from? These are all things we can help, guys. And by the way, this is related. Don't view this as a tangent. But the reason that we're looking at all these things, or I should say, in order for you to look at all of these things, you must have the mindset of motivation. You must really want it. Because why? You ask yourself, you don't say this isn't working. You say, why isn't it working? And you start to ask yourself those questions. What can I change about making more connections? And we found what? 1, 2, 3, 4 things. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what else is on here? Not on here? Teamwork. Maybe I can dial with somebody else. Maybe somebody else can help me out. Right? I'm not going to go on a VA tangent. I think most of you should not start with VAs unless you've really been in the business yourself and doing these things. But Jane, does this make sense so far?
It does make sense. I have a question.
Wait, hold that question. I want to ask you a question before you ask me a question. Which one of the, okay, so are you calling 3 times a day? Yes or no?
Two times.
Okay, so we're only doing 2 times a day. Okay, so 2 times. I'll put 2. Are you doing Saturday and Sunday?
Yes, not.
Okay, that was a hesitation, so I'm gonna say no.
No, no.
I love you, Jane, but we're just gonna be very cutthroat today, okay? Okay,
Be
now,
honest.
volume.
Yes,
Are you
200.
calling every day?
Yes, five times a week.
Okay, you get a green check for that one. Good job. Frequency, are you double and triple dialing?
Double only.
Okay, so yeah, we'll give you a check. Well, no, we're gonna give you an X because we want to do triple. All right. Okay, source, where are you calling from?
What do you mean by that? I said,
Are you calling from a dialer, a CRM, or your cell phone, Google Voice?
right now I'm dialing from my cell phone because I just started. And also, okay, where I dialing from? Yeah, okay, yeah. I don't have a dialer yet.
Okay, that's okay. That's fine. Look, everyone starts somewhere. And that's honestly, Jane, I call from my phone. I mean, I was talking to an investor the other, or actually he's an investor / seller. And he was like, yeah, I called because I picked up because you called from a normal number. And I was like, cool. Right. So it doesn't not work. But if we used a dialer, for example, you could call multi-lines, like 3 or 4 at the same time. Right. So that's just something that you can change to, move the needle on this. Okay. Now,
Oops, and
is that your biggest obstacle right now in your business?
getting the leads, getting someone to talk to me.
We'll break it down. Is connections
Conversation.
preventing you from getting leads? That's a question to you.
What's the question again, please?
I'm asking you, is this connection problem that we're talking about here? Do you think this is the biggest problem that you're having?
Yes, I want people to talk to me.
Well, that's good. I like your spirit. Good, fantastic. And this is where we need to focus. We need to focus on changing this until it works. Okay. Now, I am a huge fan of direct to agent. Why? Well, direct to agent is one of the fastest ways we call it DTA in my business. Oop, I don't like red. Let's go back. I like blue actually. DTA, direct to agent. You're going to have way more volume. I would say 80% or above of those agents will answer the phone. Some of them won't, some of them suck, right? But you're going to have more reps. And you're going to learn more about transactions. So I'm a huge fan of this. Now, when it comes to on-market MLS, this is, I'm not gonna lie, it's a grind, guys. Why? Because competition, but that's okay. We've closed MLS deals. We have a very specific formula behind it. And if you have not already watched my secrets to wholesaling video, I don't know what you're doing with your life. I really don't. Because there's a lot of key things on there. Let me post it for you guys. I'll post a few of these videos for you guys. Some of you have already watched them. I'm going to put it in the chat. But getting started with wholesaling, how to get started with creative finance, and how to build a real estate business. Those 3 videos, I think, are pillars to your start. I spelled grind with an E. So does this all make sense so far?
Yes. My question is, I have an 858 number, and most of the time when I get a spam call, it's not the numbers, the area codes that I have here. If it's not that I know of, I think it's a spam. So is that what people are not picking up, maybe?
Probably. And the other reason is that they're getting called a million times. Are you texting?
When they say leave a message, I do text, but I haven't gone. I wanted to make a few calls before I do the texting, at least 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember that homeowners, this is why I have a registered agent on my LLC on all my properties, because nobody knows that I own the property. They can't see my public information. I am a real estate ghost, right? So you got to remember that these people are being hit up daily. I recorded a YouTube video where I called the seller about seller finance. It's on my channel. The first thing out of this guy's mouth was, I was like, "Hey, John, I'm just calling about your listing, or your property that was for sale." First thing out of this guy's mouth was, "I'm not doing any creative finance." That was literally the first thing out of his mouth. He didn't say hi. He didn't say anything, but that was the first thing out of his mouth. Watch that video. It's actually really good. By the end of the phone call, he was giving me his email, and he was like, "Yeah, call me back." So really, really good. He gave me basically every objection in the book. But anyways, my point is that millions of people are calling that guy. Right. So you got to be ready for that and address the elephant in the room. I say it to people. I go, "Look, I know you're getting a million calls, but this one's going to be different." And they go, "Well, how?" I let that sit in the air. Well, by the end of this phone call, I'm going to make you a better offer than anybody else has in the past, and I'm going to perform. And I'll break it all down for you. And you'll also know if whether or not you're going to work with an investor or not. Like I come at them way different than most people. Okay. So keep doing what you're doing. Trust me, it took me, I don't know, like 3 or 4 months to get my first deal. And then it really took me like about 12 months to get momentum. So just consistency. Okay.
One more question.
Yep.
And I don't know whether they are lying or whether they are telling the truth. The property belongs to my son or daughter or whoever. And my number is on the call list. How do you handle that?
Well, you got to check. So PropStream is the program that we use in our business. We use PropStream and we use Privy for specific reasons for both of those. PropStream will give you public data, public record information. And so you can see who's on title. So in the property details, you'll click on that. It'll show you actually who's on title. Most of the times it's a individual. Sometimes it's a trust, and then sometimes you have LLCs.
I asked for the numbers, they wouldn't give it to me.
What numbers?
Because the son is on the property.
Oh, the numbers. Of course they wouldn't. Why would they? You're a stranger.
said give my number to him and get in touch with me. My cash.
That works too.
No.
Yeah. Come from a place of helping and you're never in the wrong place. Okay. You seem like a sweet person. So just come from that place. I couldn't imagine, you have such a sweet voice too. I couldn't imagine anybody getting mad at you on the phone.
Do sometimes.
I'm sure they do.
I said, I'll be writing it right now. Do not call this. You'll never hear from me.
Yeah. Keep working it. Okay, Jane, keep showing up. Keep showing up at these meetings. All right.
Thank you. Patrick.
Okay. I appreciate you. I'll see you soon. Sunika, am I saying that right? Sunika, can you put your camera on for me?
Yeah, you're good.
What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Can you
Hold
see
on.
me?
Yep. Why can't I spotlight this guy?
Don't worry, I
Let
don't
me
need to
try,
spotlight.
again. Oh, here we go. I just wanted to check out that awesome beard. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going? Hey, just for a little context, I'm pretty new to this, probably like a month and a half in. My question is this: I finally got a agent that's actually interested in creative finance. She said that her seller is probably open to that idea. And my question is, she told me go ahead and send over a offer or a letter of intent. I want to know, is that something I should be doing, or should I now get some help? Because I feel like if I mess it up there, now when I go to get help after that, now you're gonna have to clean up my mess and redo a letter of intent. Maybe I offer too much. I don't know. And so I'm just trying to get some information regarding that. And
Oh, that's
also,
it.
I'm always down. I checked your website, and I'm down to just hand the lead over. I don't know, it'd be a lead. But at that point, do you just take it and run with it, or do you guys kind of walk us through it? Because I'm here to learn. I don't really even care about the money. But that's pretty much what I'm trying to find out.
You're a smart man. I wish more people thought like that. So what I would say is, yeah, and that, by the way, this is a fantastic question. I think it's a very common question. And so for Nat, for example, he literally just brought me a motivated lead. Didn't really pitch terms, kind of briefly touched on it like we do in the scripts. They said, yeah, they might be open to it. And then he submitted it. I called on it, followed up, closed the deal. Right. So very, very good questions. And really, that's what we expect of you guys at this level. Every single elephant leader group is different. Some of them bring you into their team, and they actually work with you on the steps. But the first step, guys, is actually generating leads, right? Once you guys generate a lead and you do that consistently, what we're going to be doing is bringing you guys in natively to our group. So right now, all of you are kind of loosely in our team, but not like in our team, right? That's where we'll start to actually teach you more of the transactions and stuff like that. Now, the paperwork, I cannot show you that, nor can I teach you that because of our agreement with Subto. Right. Pace and I we have deals together, so I respect his business and everything that he's got going on. Right. So that's something that we'll never touch on. I will eventually be bringing people into the group. I'll be paying for people Subto mentorships for free. That's one of my goals.
Yeah, I'm actively looking for. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be. I'll say it though. I'm not scared. I'm actively looking for like a Subto student that still has an open spot. I guess you're able to sign someone else up with you. I'm actively looking for a Subto person.
You're being creative about joining.
So I can pay the half. Yeah, I'll pay the other half. We all win. You pay half, I pay half. There we go.
Okay, well, hey, I'll tell you what. Hit me up on Circle, and I'll make that happen for you.
Sweet.
Okay, guys, did you just see what happened right there? He's taking action and he's putting himself out there, and something is going to come of it. That's what this industry is all about, guys. And so, Sunika,
yeah,
what state is this lead in? Let me ask you that.
It's in Van Nuys. It's in California.
Oh man, I will eat that up all day, bro.
I know it's a good one. It's a good one. Like the numbers are good. It's a good one.
All you
the
need
numbers
to do
are
is
good, and I was really surprised when she was like, yeah, you know what? They actually might be interested. He's changing his job to like Baltimore, so they're moving. and so they're trying to get it sold.
Oh,
So
I have another sub two.
I think it's gonna be a good one. I just didn't want to screw it up.
I have another sub two they could probably buy in Baltimore if they're moving. It's actually a
Yeah.
nice one too. Anyways, submit that lead, dude. Do not sleep on it because I'll tell you
No,
what, there's
I won't.
10 other people right now calling on it right now.
I'll submit it right now.
Okay.
I'll submit it right now. I got you.
All right.
I appreciate you.
Hey, so hit me up in circle and we'll get that sub two thing done. Okay.
I will. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Perfect.
Thank you.
Also, if you can lower your hand, Sunika. Oh, Dylan's in here. What's up, Dylan? Dylan recorded like 20 of his conversations. And because of that, you've got my attention, Dylan. You're on my radar, bro. Nat, I shut you down earlier, but you're back. What's up, dude? I'll let you ask that question now.
Yes, I this morning I called a person and in Texas, and I explained it. It's that I found out that I'm gonna explain it, but I thought it was listing agent, but finally I talked to the owner, and the owner would like to do deal as soon as possible. And this is a townhouse. He like to understand assuming a loan. So I told him that my partner will give you a call to explain in more details. And his situation is his wife is going to move to another place for work, and her grandma just passed away, something like that. And they all wanted to move to that place as soon as possible.
Okay, so what's the question?
So this is a townhouse. So I should submit that to you, but I'm not sure about the ARV, how to calculate ARV.
Okay, well, look on Zillow. Give me this estimate. It's wrong, but it's close.
Okay. And so I need to submit that to you, and you think you can call him soon, because it seems to me that he's in urgency.
Matt, do you think I'm motivated to do what I need to do?
Just
Okay.
I'll answer for you. That's a yes, Nat.
Okay.
Submit it. I'm all over it.
And
If you get two deals in my pipeline, I might have to like find out where you live and go drink margaritas with you.
yeah. And another
Actually, this
question
is
is
sober October, but it'll have to be in November. Go ahead.
right now I'm focused on direct to agent.
Okay.
And I have full-time job, but I really like to do door knock with James. I don't know if he's open to that.
Oh, you want to go door knocking? Yeah, honestly, I kind of pivoted a little bit from door knocking because I started doing way more calls and stuff like that. That way I can just get to more people. So
Okay.
that's really what I'm doing. I mean, I do a little bit of door knocking just for the foreclosures that have low to no equity in my area. But, I really just going after the process for so long. In California, I'm gonna be honest, it's a little tough because they can do some stuff to keep changing the auction. So
Okay.
me personally, I spent so much time door knocking and got a lot of leads and got a lot of good conversations, but what they can do for changing the auction, it makes it hard. I mean, they're motivated, but not quite that motivated when they keep moving stuff around. So, I mean, if I was door knocking and going full time, like absolutely, I'd have no problem with you doing that. But like I said, I'm right now full time, like calling because I can reach way more people.
Okay. Okay. So for now, I just focus on direct to agent and that's all. Yeah, that's all I have. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I jumped in and started door knocking, and I just, not to say again, it's the number one best way to reach foreclosures, right? But with my skill sets and like what I know I can do, I put a team together, right? Like I got people working underneath me, so it made more sense for me to be behind a computer as opposed to on the street.
Well, And I also think it's like the area too. Like, you know, if you're gonna door knock, like here's the difference. California, like we were talking, they keep moving the auctions, they can do all kinds of stuff. They also have all these grants and stuff. So California makes it tough. Now, if you're somewhere like Texas, you know, it's less than a 4 weeks process. Like they have the auction on, I believe, what is it, the first Tuesday of the month?
First Tuesday of the month. Yep.
Okay, so yeah, that's right. So that's why a lot of people heavily focus on those type of states, because it's like as soon as the process is started, the auction is going to be happening. So they have to absolutely make a decision. So there, you know, I feel like Texas, Arizona, Florida are great for door knocking, you know, when they have short processes like that. But other places, especially if it's a blue state, you know, it's definitely a little bit tricky just because of what they can do.
Right. I agree 100%. All right, Nat, go out there and
Yeah.
give me another deal, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll do my best.
Keep up the good work. That's insane.
Yeah,
Nice
dude.
job.
He's putting in work.
Oh yeah.
David, let me add a spotlight. What's up, dude?
So, what up, buddy?
How's it going?
Doing all right. I'm brand new to all this. I'm a baby, like real estate in general, like not even the elephant. I'm trying to just, personally for me, I need to know vocab lingo and understandings behind them before I feel I'm ready to like make calls and stuff like that. So I was wondering if you had like some books or some videos even on your, I've just heard of you today. I've never met you guys or heard of you guys before. But if you guys have like video that kind of goes over like formulas and stuff like that, because I just need to know the game first before I personally think I'm ready to you know, pitch to make calls and stuff like that. Like I'm purchasing courses and stuff like that. You probably see the Grant Cardone thing right here. I'm on top of that thing. But like when I learned about Pace Morby, I kind of dig that whole thing. And I'm personally down to just like, if I can make calls or whatever and make money and get him properties, cool. Cause I got my own thing I need to do. But if I can get like you properties or whatever, then awesome. I'm just down to do that and make as much as I can so I can invest in what I want to do.
Yeah, so I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm gonna give you two answers, right?
Cool.
The first one is like, actually in the last challenge, I can't remember what day it was. Somebody asked a very similar question to that. James, I see your mouth moving, but I think you're on mute, dude. So anyways, I got distracted by that. But like, I think it was like maybe day 2 or something like that. Pace talks about where to find some of those references. I don't offhand have any specific references for you. I just kind of jumped in and started learning stuff. And Google was like my friend for a while until I started like rubbing, you know, like shoulders with other people. And that's really how I learned, man. I just kind of jumped in, and you do a YouTube video here, Google there, you're in meetings with people, you're in meetings like this. If you go through those videos that I posted, we're throwing out a lot of terminology in those and we explain what that means. But honestly, like, that's my first answer. The second answer is like, I talk to agents like all the time, and most of them still don't know shit. Like,
Nice.
ARV, for example, after repair value, I tell my team, don't say that to agents because they don't know what it means. I tell them to say retail value because they understand what that means, right? So there's investor lingo, and then it depends on who you're working with, agent lingo, right? And if you're working with agents, they're probably not going to know all the investor lingo. And if you're working with sellers, they're certainly not going to know it. So my gut tells me, and I don't know this for sure, David, I don't know who you are, but something tells me you and I are kindred spirits, and you're an analytical dude like I am.
Okay.
And you think too much and you don't do enough, right?
Yes.
Like, so it's like, stop thinking, get out of your way, because I was the same way. I was like, I must know real estate like Neo and download it into my brain before I go do it. And that's all, it's crap. It's just not how it works.
I got you. Because I'm in the music industry. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. Like I run a record label and stuff like that. So
I love it.
we're like, I give artist consultations. I give them game because I understand the music industry. I don't understand real estate yet. Like the financial literacy and all that stuff is it's like scripture that most people don't know. Like it takes a minute to learn it, but like I'm learning the shit out of it right now. You know.
I can tell you what. Like if you know, I gave you a test and I gave Nat a test, for example. You guys probably get the same score, you know, like, and the only difference is he picked up the phone.
I don't even know what to say when I pick up the phone. It's just like, tell me about the house, bro. I don't have any money to buy it. I don't know anyone to get it right now. I don't know what the different styles of purchasing are and stuff. I would remember somebody was saying about a script. I don't have any
I just
scripts or
posted it to
anything
the
like
chat.
that.
Yeah, I was
Oh, fuck.
gonna say there's a lot of YouTube videos out there with like just people calling that you could watch. There's definitely a lot of cold calling videos out there. Pace has got a bunch of videos.
Yeah.
I mean, in these videos, I break it down. I just posted the resource link and then also those 3 videos.
There you
I mean,
go.
I really break it down. And I have live calls, not scripted. Like I'm literally on live calls in some of these videos that I post, and you get to see me talk to agents and talk to sellers. Like,
Cool.
so yeah,
Nice.
check it out, man. Thanks for
All
joining
right,
us.
buddy. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Luxley.
Hey, how you doing, Patrick?
What's up, man? When are you gonna bring me a deal, bro?
Let's talk about it. I have, I think a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned I had a package of houses. It was like 14 of them.
Okay.
But the gentleman sold 4 of them, so there's 10 of them left. And he is willing to do owner financing.
Where are they
It's a
located?
They're all in Central Florida.
Beautiful.
In
Have my
Polk County.
attention.
He wants, I think it's 2.8. 8 of the 10 are rented. Some of them have 2 units, a house and a unit in the back with additional rent. I have some of the information. I have the addresses. I have the rent roll, how much he is getting for them. We just have, let me back up a little bit. A wholesaler brought it to me.
Okay.
And they haven't tied it up. They're still in negotiation, but I got the connection from a friend of mine.
Oh, got it. Okay. So is this wholesaler inside of Subto?
No.
Uh-oh, they probably have no idea what they're doing then. Well, so what I would say is like, it's tough, right? Because like I see a lot of people negotiating seller finance and I look at the terms and I'm just like, those terms suck. Right. And I'm just being honest. Like, I'm just being very honest. I'm not trying to put anybody down. All I'm saying is that like, it's better for me to come into the situation and negotiate it. So I know my cash on cash return. And I'm not like trying to beef myself up here, but like I'm better at negotiating than most people out there with seller finance and creative finance. So I'd prefer to negotiate the deal. Do you have the contact information for the guy?
Yes, I do. Not with me, but I'll send it to you tomorrow or later tonight.
Yeah. So again, so in simple terms, 10% entry fee on these deals. And the reason that that's important, that's 10% minus costs, by the way. So if we're coming out of pocket on costs, then we want to be all in at 10% of. So if the portfolio is truly worth 2 point, whatever the hell you just said, then I want to be into it for only 200K.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, he's asking 10% with an 8-point-something% interest. I thought
How much interest?
8-point-something. I thought that was
he can kiss my crack.
Yeah.
So you could tell him I said that too.
Yeah.
Well, tell him
again,
look, if he's a real investor, he should understand.
If you can negotiate it, it would be better.
Exactly. And if he's a real investor, he can understand what an investor needs.
Yeah.
8% is ridiculous. I can go talk to a bank and they'll treat me better than that. Right? They might actually give me champagne too. I like champagne. I can't drink it in October though. But do you understand what I'm saying, Luxley? Like that just doesn't make any sense. Like go around that guy, and if the seller still can't get 8 out of his mind, then it's just not a deal.
Okay. I'll send you the information.
Okay, perfect. I would actually, if it's that many people, or excuse me, that many properties, I would just email me here. Is this going to take you forever to fill out all those forms? Hold on one second.
That was the other question. If you put that, how do I put that on? Because I'd have to do all 10 of them.
Guys, don't be so I just put my email in the chat. Don't be emailing me random questions, guys. I'm not going to answer them. Bring your questions to these meetings. Why? It's not because I'm busy. It's not because I don't love you guys like my own family, because I do. It's just because I want people to benefit from your questions, guys. Oh, and I want content. We're trying to get a bigger following for James and I. Don't forget about the likes, guys. All right, Luxley, is that it?
Yes.
Go bring me a portfolio, bro.
That's insane. Nice work.
Good job, bro. I appreciate you.
Hell yeah.
Dylan, action taker at a high level. What's up, bro?
What's up? How are you?
Dude, I'm fantastic.
Oh,
I'm fantastic.
Good to hear. Yeah, I'm glad I get to talk to you. I've been wanting to ask you so many questions, but I haven't
do
wanted to interrupt the Zoom workflow with the foreclosure stuff.
Well, today we're all about fixing problems, bro. So what are we talking about today?
Man, I guess I guess maybe two things. I've talked to Matthew about it. He said like ARM, like adjustable rate mortgages are a no-go for creative deals. Like, is that just an automatic disqualifier? Should we still run numbers to see if it's like a cash deal for those on the list?
I wouldn't go after it if I were you. If you're in the middle of a conversation, like let's say you're in the middle of a conversation and it's not looking like a cash deal, maybe you're targeting cash deals, and then it goes to creative and you see an ARM, you might want to ask them, are you sure this is an adjustable rate mortgage or is it fixed? I just want to confirm that, because if it is an ARM, it's definitely not one for me, and a lot of investors won't take them because it's just not fixed cost, and it raises over time. There's a lot of ARMs right now. There's a lot of people that have ARMs, adjustable rate mortgages, not these types of ARMs, but they're suffering, dude, because the rates are so high.
Yeah.
And they want to sell because of it. There's a lot of them out on the market, but
Yeah.
it's just kind of a creative killer in my opinion. What's your other question?
Well, so like I guess not following like so there's one property on the list that I've seen, and it has a balloon note with like the interest rate is crazy. I don't know how long they've been missing payments, so I don't know how inflated like what they owe is, but the ARB might, I don't know if because it might be a wholesale like cash deal.
What's the lender name? Do you know?
Let me see.
Are you sure it's not hard money loan?
It might be. I mean, if it's a balloon, yeah, but let me just look at the lender.
Like if it says like Kiavi, it's like a hard money loan.
Kiavi?
Kiavi is like one of the biggest hard money lenders in the country. But with loans like that, you can always just call and ask, hey, I'm just curious. It looks like there's a note on this. I just want to tidy up my notes for the partner that I work with. Can you confirm what kind of mortgage this is? Say something like that.
This says Washington Mutual.
Yeah, WAMU. Okay, so they got a bank loan.
Yeah,
And it
but
says
it's balloon though. It says loan type in prop stream, like it says balloon, and then what? It says fixed rate next to it. Like, where's this type? I don't know. It's just
if it cash flows as a rental, as a long-term rental, I'd call on it and just clarify and just be like, hey, this is what we're looking for. Is that something that you're open to? And then just tell them, look, before we go any further, I just want to clarify the mortgage. Is this a fixed 30 or I'm seeing balloon here? What's the story?
So it's just clarifying then in the phone call.
Yeah, because I've seen properties where like one that I just got in Georgia, for example, somebody just brought me, and it was like there was a note on it. And so I inquired about the note and I was just like, hey, I just want to confirm this mortgage. And they're like, no, it's free and clear. I was like, oh, okay, free and clear. Got it. So that changes everything about negotiating, and right, like now it's a completely different story. I've also seen other notes that are incorrect, like it's not completely correct in terms of the percentage and what type of note or mortgage it is. So just confirm.
Okay. Yeah, because like I guess I'm always kind of like looking at the deal, like and checking it out before I call. So just to see if it's even, but calling still, I guess, just to verify what you're saying. Yeah,
it's smart that, the first level, I call it like shotgun underwriting, right? Where like I look at something, like let's say I'm looking at a creative deal, right? And it's a Subto low equity, and I'm looking at their PITI, I want to see that it's well underneath market rents before I even call on it, because of, there's other exit strategies depending upon the state. I'm not going to blow too many minds here, but I'm looking at that before I even call, right? Because if it's a reverse mortgage, for example, I'm not calling on it because there's no way. It's got to be a cash deal or nothing. Does that
Right.
make sense?
Yeah, definitely. And just want to say thank you too for all the content and like all the meetings and stuff. I learned a lot from you. And that's also thanks to Jason. So shouts out to Jason, because Jason put me on to like joining your guys' meetings.
Oh, Jason Lee?
Yeah.
That's my boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate you, bro. Bring me a deal, man. Let's do some deals together, bro.
Yeah, definitely. I'm always working on it. I'm trying.
Hey, just so you know, you're in California, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dang it. That's right. I almost forgot to tell you this, dude. So that one deal that you brought me, that one property in, I can't remember where, nice house. Subto deal. Do you remember that one that you brought me? We were going
Palmdale?
back. Yeah, Palmdale. Thank you. I can't keep all these addresses in my head, bro.
Yeah, no, I get
It's impossible. I called the agent. They needed a week. I called her back. They went under contract. They lost representation because the broker didn't want to do a Subto.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And so I called the seller direct, and seller and I have great rapport. He took my call. We talked, and it's called scorching the earth. It's telling them that everybody else bidding and trying to get them under contract, they're full of shit and they're cockroaches. That's what scorching the earth is. So anyways, I went through that whole spiel, and he's like, I'm going to save your number. And if they don't perform by the end of next week, I'm going to call you. So it's on my calendar. I'm going to call him back. Okay. So that deal's not dead yet.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm glad you brought that up. I asked because I seen it went off market. So because I asked the agent, she was like, oh, the broker didn't give it a thumbs up, whatever it was.
They're fucking idiots, dude. They're just idiots.
It's amazing. You guys will be so shocked that the more you get into this and deal with agents, sometimes it's mind blowing. They have a license, they spend all this money, and they don't know that much. It's crazy.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the
100%. I got them on speed dial, bro. I got you.
Nice. Thank you.
Nice work, bro. Keep it up. That's super
keep it up.
insane, dude. Let's go, bro.
Nice job. All right. Alexis Kim, can you put your camera on for us?
Is it okay if I don't do it this time? I'll do it next time.
Oh man, I wanted to meet you face to face.
It's my first.
Okay.
So on Monday, you were talking about pre-foreclosure, and I was having really bad connection, but I thought it was really good and I wanted to rewatch. Where do I go to find the replay? That specific Monday one, October the 2nd.
Yep. Give me one second here.
Okay.
I'll put my channel into the chat.
Okay.
And I think it was actually the last one. You're saying Monday or Tuesday?
Monday.
Or sorry,
We're
Monday or Wednesday?
Yeah,
I
this
think
Monday, 2 days ago.
Okay, so I think that one was making money on foreclosures. That was the last video I posted, and that's my YouTube channel right there.
Okay, so it's in there already.
Yep.
Okay, on the YouTube. Fantastic. Because there was also a document. Like I said, I had such a bad connection. I was in and out. And but there was also a document. Was that a script for the pre-foreclosure you were going through?
I have not posted that yet, and I apologize, guys. I've literally been back to back since that meeting. But I will post this into the chat. This is where you can get some resources and also submit your deals. It's in the chat.
Okay, fantastic. And somebody mentioned that if the seller has a HELOC, doesn't have loan, but has a HELOC only, can you still do Subto with HELOC?
Yes, you can.
You can. Okay. Is that same normal or is it more challenging? Because HELOC has a variable interest rate. So I'm just wondering.
I mean, it depends on what phase that they are in, but you can still bring it to us.
Okay. Okay, fantastic. And let me see here. Yeah, I think
also HELOC, just not to, I don't want to go too deep into this because I don't want to get into the weeds, but HELOCs in terms of how they reflect on public record and third-party programs aren't always accurate.
Mhm.
So they might say they owe 30 grand, but it might actually be a couple grand. You never really know.
Yeah, I was looking at the prop stream and it said like, I don't know, like a line of credit or something like this with interest rate showing and things like that. So was assuming that it might be a HELOC just because it didn't say it was like a conventional regular type of it was it's a line of credit, So
Yeah, you
that's
can
what-
subto it. I mean, like an actual Subto, like the Subtos that I'm doing right now, I'm literally logging in and paying mortgages. I've got them on auto pay, right? I've literally got the credentials to the owner's mortgage accounts. That's how I'm paying my Subtos.
Oh, I thought it was going through a service company or something like that. No, to make the
gonna-
payments.
I'm going to tell you a secret, okay?
Okay.
Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody I said this, okay? Don't share this YouTube video with anybody. Servicing companies are, in my opinion, are a waste of money. They get paid to send checks.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't want my checks getting lost in the mail. I perform on time. And I do that because I set up my accounts.
And the seller is all cool with it like that, as opposed to having a third party.
Sellers have no idea what's going on. I might say it sometimes.
Uh-huh.
And the reason that I'm saying it is so that they believe that there's a licensed professional behind the servicing, but they'll make more mistakes than I will. And I just don't do it.
Oh.
That's just me, guys. That's just me as an investor. I pay all my stuff on time. I'm really
Okay.
doing a good job of not swearing as much today.
Okay. And my last question is, how do I sign up with you guys to start making calls or something? Do you guys have like a list that you guys provide, or do
I'm
I get
gonna
my
take
list?
a page out of Pace's playbook and say you must have sneezed while I mentioned that. You must have sneezed because I did it fast. It's in the chat. Resources,
Oh,
team
you find it?
opt-in.
Okay.
Yep. That's
But
okay.
when I go in there, though, it says to fill out the
It does.
form, the questionnaire.
There's no questions. They're just, who are you? Those are the only questions.
Oh, okay. Maybe I was looking at the wrong place then. I'll check it out
So
again.
you got submit my offer, and those are submitting a deal. And then the opt-in is the team opt-in that'll redirect you to all of the resources. Okay.
Okay, sounds cool. All right,
All right,
thank you.
Alexis. Thank you for hanging out with us. I can't wait till you bring me another deal.
Okay.
Jason Lee, my boy.
What's up, Patrick? What's going on?
Hey, bro. I was in line at Disneyland
Uh-huh.
this last weekend, and I
Oh,
was
you're in SoCal?
yeah. I was with my business partner,
Yeah.
and he was like, we were talking business, of course, and he's like, yeah,
I know you're talking about.
yeah. He's like, I've been making a splash in the Astro community and meeting these students. And he's telling me the story. He's like, I met this one guy. He's doing deals in SoCal. And I started talking about you. And he goes, are you talking about Patrick Curley? I go to all of his meetings. And I was like, is it Jason Lee?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, it's Jason Lee. And I was like, oh, that's so funny. Small world.
That dude looks like an actor. He looks like have you seen that Netflix show? Yeah, he's I might have a juicy deal coming up for you in Santa Barbara. I'm working on it.
A goofy deal?
It's not juicy.
Oh, I
like,
thought you said goofy.
No,
Okay.
it's I mean, it has a big spread. I'm working with the buyer. He doesn't want to take on the risk, so I'm gonna be sending that over to you.
I love it.
Yeah. The reason I'm doing a lot of agent outreach, and I'm starting to pitch creative also.
Okay.
And now the agent wants to kind of be a bird dog and wants to, if they have opportunity, is there a way to position a buyer's agent in the deal?
So they're looking for on-market deals?
They're looking for on market. Well, I mean, obviously they have a filter with their MLS, and yeah, he sent me a property, and he's pretty much seeing how I would work with him if he was, I guess, the buyer's agent sending the deal to me.
Yeah,
As
man.
a Subto deal.
Yes, that's a good question. And I guess that would be on you really to dictate what you want to make out of the deal if he's bringing it to you, right? Because everything's a negotiation, right? Like
Yeah.
everything's negotiable. It just depends. And the way that I look at it is like a piece of pie. Like how much of that pie did they actually bring to me? That's kind of what I want to give them in terms of compensation, right?
Okay.
So, that's like how I look at everything. So it really just, it's all on you, man. Like it depends on how much of what I'm paying you want to share.
Okay. That works for me.
But like, so if they're bringing their own deal though, that's different. Like
That's different. Yeah.
they're sourcing the deal, then that's a completely different conversation.
Okay.
The problem
That
with
works.
creative deals, or I shouldn't say problem, I should rename it as obstacle. The obstacle with creative deals is that we're always looking at when can we get our money back, aka cash on cash return. With flips, how much can we make? What's our overall return, right?
Yeah.
So we want our entry fees to be relatively low. So the more expenses we tack on top, the more of disqualified the lead becomes. So that's the obstacle. So if there's another agent involved, for example, they're probably expecting at least 2.5 points on the purchase price.
Yeah.
Right. And if it's $1 million, right, we're looking at like 20K, something like that. So that's coming out of the 10%. Now we've only got 80 to play with. How much reno does it need? Is there closing costs? So on and so forth, right? So that's kind of what you want to consider.
Okay. Because I've been, first initial contact is to see if they have any, flips going on, and the ones that say they have low inventory, I'll say, well, another way we're positioning ourselves is, acquiring properties subject to, and then that gets them really interested in, because their first mindset is like, there's nothing out there. But it's like, well, that's how we've been positioning ourselves, and it really has opened a lot of conversations that way.
Yeah. And so this is a conversation that I have with my team, and I have a lot when it comes to wholesaling and working with agents, is it's an investor mindset versus a resale mindset. And so what do I mean by that? Well, a lot of agents are like, they look to the MLS for their opportunities, right? There's low inventory. No, there's not. You have low inventory, you broke bitch.
No, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Right. I say that if I have good rapport with an agent, I'll tell them that. I'll be like, look, I'm working with agents that are knocking on doors and running their own ads. What are you doing? You're looking at the MLS. Get out of my sight. Right. Like go get a lead, you mofo, and I'll help you out. Right.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Right. And like I've got this agent right now. We just closed the deal in Oakland with her. She's phenomenal, bro. In our business, we have what we call VIP agents. We have investor agents. And then we got agents that we just follow up with. Investor agents are those that source deals that are off market, that aren't their own leads. They bring them to us from other people that source them. VIP agents are sourcing off market deals themselves. And we call them manually, bro. Like we create relationships with these people, right? So you have to take that mindset into working with agents. If you've got 100 agents, 20 of them might understand what the hell you're talking about. And only 4 of them are actually going to be sourcing deals for you. Right. So I mentioned that because like when they say low inventory, they're probably not sourcing their own deals.
Exactly.
All right, dude. Any other questions for me?
No, I mean, yeah, keep Dylan. That dude is a beast. So if I were you, I would put him on your team.
I know. I'm thinking about it. He's on my radar.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
But hey, man, keep looking. Also, creative deals in LA. I'm looking this is a long-term goal for me, but I'm going to be creating a charity around subsidized housing. And I'm looking for multifamily and bigger units in LA. LA County.
Okay.
So keep it on your radar, bro. Let me know.
Sounds good. I'll love to help out with that.
Oh yeah, man. And I'm going to blow people's minds when I set it up. Tax-free cash flow.
Looking forward to it. Right.
Love it. Thanks for hanging out with us, bro. Sunika, I'm not sure if you re-raised your hand or if you just forgot to lower it.
No, I did re-raise my hand. It was because I didn't want to sound like I didn't know anything, but you told me to hit you up on Circle, and I have no idea what that is. I was like, man, I could figure it out. I don't even know what that is.
That's okay. The Circle app. Hold on 1 second. Can
Yeah, I
somebody
knew
put the
that.
circle? Oh, actually, let me do it. I'll do it for you. Actually, you know what? Here, dude, let's do this, dude. Just email me.
That same email you popped up earlier?
Yeah.
Circle.
Yeah,
Email me. Remind me who
I
the hell you
copied
are,
it.
and then we'll
I'm like
continue.
a stalker. I copied it real quick.
Love it.
All
Yeah,
right, that's
email me and,
all right.
we'll chat.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Yep.
Put it on there.
Okay. Cindy is back.
Hi, I just have a question on that lead list because when I was going through them, a lot of the houses were 16 million, 14 million. What's your max on that?
That's a great question. So we unfortunately before sending that out, we didn't really tighten up our parameters,
Okay.
and so
And so Jason, that other guy Dylan's getting all of them because I was like, there was all these empty ones. Well, he was smart because they're all like freaking 20 million, 16 million. So what's the max? Just so I know. The
yeah,
max.
so few things too. One is if somebody calls on a lead, that doesn't mean that you can't call it.
No, I know that. No.
Okay,
If they're
okay.
following up on it though, if they're following up, you see what I'm saying? Like that's
Sure.
the other thing. You didn't have that. So if someone is actually going after it and they're saying they're following up, I don't want to do anything. If they go to a lead and there's no, nothing, then I'll go after it, right?
I'm gonna tell you this right now. If I was so busy I couldn't take this Zoom, I would say what you're doing, that's fine. Guys, go after all of the leads. Trust me
Okay.
on this. Because
All
even
right.
though people are saying they're following up, I can guarantee, look, I run an acquisitions business right now. I have to meet with them weekly to be like,
Okay.
what's going on with your numbers?
So sorry, guys, I'm going to be going after your stuff. Okay, but what's the max, please? Because I did realize it was awfully high, and then I just said, you know what? Let's ask him first. So that's what I need
The answer in real estate is always it depends.
on.
But generally speaking, like if you really look at the numbers and you start underwriting this stuff, which by the way, we're doing on Thursday, I've sent out a link to your emails for action takers. Check your email, guys. I tagged you on Circle as well. If you were tagged on Circle and you did not get an email, you should be asking yourself, what is going on?
What's going on, man? I'm an action taker.
Did you
I
not
didn't
get
get
an
it.
email? You didn't get an email?
Nope.
Are you sure?
Freaking positive. I'm looking at it.
All right, well, hit me up.
Is it on elephant? I just put the elephant circle thing for that Sunuka guy. So tell him it's in the chat, the circle that he
Remind
can
me, either email me or hit me up on Circle to remind me, and I'll send it to you. Okay, Cindy?
Okay, so I didn't get that. So I guess there is no, because I mean, like a lot of them have so much equity, Patrick. It's like these are not good leads for him. But just in general, like 2 million, 3 million.
If it's vacant, then it's probably a lead on a hybrid. So like in general, okay, so again, it depends, but in general, what I would say is like 800,000 and below. But it all depends. Like right now I'm looking for a personal home in San Mateo County, and I can spend 1.25 at 4%. That's what I can afford. Or at least that's what I'm budgeting, right? So it depends, right? If it's a luxury what I've noticed is there's a gap between like $1 million and like 1.5 where they don't really cash flow very well. And then you start going over the 1.5 and you can do like Airbnbs and other exit strategies that might make more sense. And even rentals, luxury rentals for that matter, might cash flow. But in general, I would focus on properties that are 800K and below just for tax purposes.
Okay, so that was my first question. The second question, a lot of them were off market, which means they were never on market.
Great. Skip trace it with True People Search or Fast People Search and get a hold of the seller. That's even better than working with an agent, in my opinion.
Okay, so skip trace it. Okay, thank you.
You, Cindy, are very welcome. Remind me about the email and I'll send it out to you.
Yep.
All right, guys, we got 7 minutes and we managed to use most of that time with questions. See, that's what happens when I open it up to Q&A, but that's what I expected today. That's what I wanted to do because I know that there's a lot of questions here. Jason Lee, you still got your hand up. Sunika, you still got your hand up. I'm assuming you don't have any questions. All right, guys, any other questions? Anybody just want to talk about their feelings? We have seven minutes left. No, nobody wants to talk about their feelings.
I feel grateful. Okay.
I'm glad. Gratitude is the best way to start your day. Seriously, guys. If you're not in the right mindset, start thinking about what you're grateful for. I got some direct messages, guys. I don't see that stuff. Do you have an outline of your buy box? I do. It's on the opt-in page. Go to the opt-in page. Gary or Ralph, why are you direct messaging me? Why aren't you talking to me, Gary? I've seen you before. We've chatted before. How do you go about recording the calls? Oh, that's a good question. Use Zoom, guys. We're on it now. If you're in this meeting, you know how to use Zoom. Just hit the record button, guys. Record it to your computer and then download it, upload it.
Okay.
Giuseppe. Oh, actually, sorry, Giuseppe, let me come back to you because Rome put his hand up first. Nothing personal. Hold on one second. Rome, can you put your camera on, dude? What's up, dude? Oh, you're on mute, buddy. I'm gonna ask you to unmute. There you go. Can you hear? Oh, there we go.
Can you hear me?
Just barely.
How about that? Hold on.
Slightly better. Are we in your garage? Are we doing work in the garage?
I'm screen printing as we speak.
You're doing what?
I'm screen printing.
Oh, script. Whoa.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do business together. I'm actually able to monetize merchandise on YouTube now that I've got 500 subscribers.
So yeah, that's what I'm doing while I'm listening.
I love it.
So my question is, you said for beginners, you didn't want you don't think we should use a VA. Now, I work 2 full-time jobs, plus I do this, and then I do other stuff. And so I don't have a lot of time because I'm trying to pay down a lot of debt right now. Just because of this business, I have a lot of debt. So I do make 50 calls a week. That is something that is a goal of mine. And I've had 6 conversations this week, which is great. And I'm actually getting traction. However, why do you not think that we should use a VA as a beginner? Now, is it because, well, you know what? I'll just let you answer the question.
Yeah, that's a great question. And we've addressed that on a video, how to build a real estate business. I'm going to post that again for you guys, but I'm not saying don't do it, but here's the truth is I've seen a lot of people come in, and I'm sure James, you've seen the same story. People come in, they get a VA, and 1 month goes by, they spend $5,000. Oh, nothing's working. Well, let's try one more month. All right, well, maybe I need to change this. Okay, now they're into it for 15K and they've got 0 leads. Right. So the thing is that most people, they jump in, they don't know the industry, and they don't know if they're doing it correctly. They don't know how to sell. They don't have a sales process. So they're unable to convert leads. So it's like, you're essentially, you're not ready for it yet. Right. So now you might be different. You might be an entrepreneur who's used VAs before, or you've managed staff before and you know how to work it, but you also have to remember that you got to manage those VAs. Or
Right.
if you have somebody managing those VAs, you got to manage the manager, right? And I've spoken with a few people in the mentorship that I highly respect that mentored me coming in. And they've told me that they've had to fire and hire more than once VA managers and VAs. So it's like you're running a business, a mini business with these VAs. So that's why I don't think it's a great idea for people to start there. I think you kind of have to figure it out first before you start throwing money at the problem. And that's, again, my personal opinion. But if you feel like you can handle that, then rock on, go for it.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, like, a lot of people use those VAs because I've heard it so much, and I feel like, since we talk about it and it's so cheap, people feel like it's like a cheat code to like get them faster deals. And in a way it could be, but then again, you're managing them and you got to be on top of them. You got to teach them how to sell or to talk to people, unless they're really, really trained. But if they're really trained and they're really good, chances are, why are they looking for a new job? And there's so many newbies out there, and that is one thing that they all try to push. They're like, I'm just going to get a VA to do all this work, and and deals will just come to me. And like Patrick was saying, that's not the case, because you got to be on top of them. You got to manage them.
What
And
about some of the services that are provided out there? Like I know Case throws some stuff out there, and then there's like 3 or 4 services that I've vetted to talk to, and I've had conversations with these people, and they say that they've had 2-3 years of experience, this, that, and the other. Now I don't know if they're just blowing smoke. I have no idea, but if you were thinking about maybe getting a VA, would you go with the service instead of just trying to train somebody brand spanking new? Because I mean, I'm very new. I've done some real estate in the past, but I'm right back into it again. So I'm brand new again.
I'm not going to,
It's
yeah,
been
I'm not
3
going to,
years.
yeah, these are all great questions. I'm not going to name any names, but I know somebody who operates at a high level who has fired a well-known brand of VAs, a service, right? So again, I'm not going to go into who they are, but I'm just going to tell you that regardless of who you hire, it will require you to understand and have the bandwidth to manage those things and be prepared to literally fire and start over, right? So that's really the what you have to take on.
Okay.
So that's what I would say. Like, so for my acquisition business, we're doing multiple transactions every month. We're at a 6-figure quarter run rate, and we're just now starting to actually talk about bringing in VA services that are managed by somebody that we know that's doing high volume, and we're still in talks and negotiations, right? So that's just an example of where I'm at, and when I'm now starting to choose to do that. So that's just me. Now, again, you've got to just take into consideration what you have to put into it if you're going to actually pull the trigger. And that's risk tolerance in terms of monetary compensation, risk tolerance in terms of time, and the opportunity cost that you may incur because of it. Those are the questions that you have to ask as an entrepreneur moving into a new phase.
That's a good way of looking at it. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for hanging out with us. That's a great question.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Giuseppe, does anybody call you Gio?
Most people call me either Joe or G. Quick thing for Rom, the Bash Brothers on Circle, at the end of their Zoom meetings, they do calibration calls with their VAs, and they let you stay on and watch, and they show you how they vet their VAs, what they should do different at the end of their calls and stuff. So if he wants VAs, that's a good one to watch, is the Bash Brothers.
Dope. I love that.
Also, for recording the videos, Mike Matthias, he posted a video for everybody on how to download the app Veed, I think it's called. I put a link in the chat for everybody to Mike's video. It shows you how to download it, how to send it to Patrick and Gary and their team. And then the other thing I want to ask you, Patrick, is it too late for the action takers to record a call and get into tomorrow's meeting?
No way, dude. Do it.
All right. That's all.
I feel like I already sent it to you, by the way.
I didn't get it. Maybe it's in my junk mail. I'll check it out.
Yeah,
Do you know
guys,
what time it is tomorrow?
12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
Okay.
Guys, if you don't see it, check your inbox or check your spam. All right, because whatever email that you opted in with, that's where I sent it.
All right. Yeah, I got your other emails. And then now all the leads that we're getting and calling on, do they all have to be Subto, or can they be cash as well?
I'm only doing cash deals in California, specifically Northern California and Southern California. If it's outside of those regions and it's in California, you can still bring it to me. And there's still a pretty good chance that we'll be able to do something with it. But just remember that the cash deal's got to be anywhere from 60 to 70%, generally speaking, of retail value for us to move it.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Giuseppe, we appreciate you. I want to eat.
you.
Where's your pizza place, by the way?
We're on the Jersey Shore. So if you ever watch like
you're in
TV
Jersey
Shore, yeah, we're literally right next to Jersey Shore. Like I live like 10 minutes from where they tape the Jersey Shore show. Like they used to come into my wife's vitamin shop and stuff like that, buy supplements, and we see them around and stuff.
Do you own the pizza place?
Yeah, I own two. I sold one, and I'm actually in the process of selling this one.
Oh wow, that's incredible, man.
So I want to do full-time real estate, but I was landlord here in Jersey, and it sucks. The laws here are horrible. I got judgments on a couple people I had evicted. I haven't received $1 of it.
Gotta love
It's
those
just
blue
brutal.
states.
That sucks.
What's that?
man.
Yeah, the states here. Yeah, I mean, I went to court. I went fully prepared, pictures. I outlined everything in the lease. I even made a little shortcut thing where everything for the judge, and the judge was like, "Yeah, we're gonna lower the judgment from 20 to 15,000." I was like, "Okay, that's fine. When am I gonna get back my money?" It's been 4 years, and I still haven't seen any of it.
Perfect example why a lot of investors don't go to blue states.
Yeah, it's brutal here. I think here wholesaling would be good, and maybe like lease options, things like that. Things where you don't have to worry about the renters. 'Cause eviction here is brutal.
That sucks, bro. Well, if I'm ever in New Jersey, I'm gonna check you out, bro.
Nah, come on by and get you a pizza and cheesesteak, man. I got you.
Oh,
Yeah.
cheesesteaks. Love it, dude. Thanks for
Yeah.
hanging out with us, bro.
Yeah, have a good day.
You too. All right. How do I pronounce your Imran?
Imran.
Imran. What's up, dude?
Yes. Hi, Patrick. How are you?
I am fantastic.
I have seen you on many YouTube videos. I recently came to know Pace and then came to know you. So I've been watching. This is my first time to come to you.
I introduced you to Pace.
No, I mean, I
Oh.
came to Pace and then I saw you. And
I was gonna say I feel like that's the other way around, but okay.
That would have been insane.
To this world, and this is my first time to join your live Zoom call.
Cool.
But I have been watching your recorded stuff, and which I really like the way you explain and how you stay calm talking to the people on the phone. That's great. So I'm not new to the real estate, but I'm new to the creative real estate part. Okay.
Okay.
I had a question. When you are making calls, and you mentioned there are CRMs to make calls. Do you recommend we use those CRMs to make calls? It's like automate the call, or do you call on our phone one by one?
The only thing you can really automate in terms of calling is what's called a call rail, which just creates a queue that just goes one after the next, so you can just hammer calls. But honestly, I don't think that's necessary with creative deals, because what we've found from the data that I've looked at on the targets that we're hitting, which is low equity, negative equity, vacant, hybrids, foreclosures, it's about 10% of what's in the inventory. So I don't think it's necessary. In terms of a CRM, I have two different answers for this. I've been using Go High Level since it came out. I actually know the CEO. So from my experience and my understanding, I think CRMs are crucial. But from a lot of people's perspectives of becoming into this industry as a new person, I think it's a little over their heads, right? So the biggest point is really just getting started, I think. And so if bringing on something in your business slows you down and you're not closing deals, I think it's a bad idea. But I think if you're closing multiple deals or closing a single deal a month, it is a good idea to slow down to speed up. Does that make sense?
I
Yeah.
see. Once you're closing multiple deals a month, then you can start bringing the CRMs.
Yeah, because a lot of people operate the way that probably you and I do, which is like, oh, before I start, I need to get ready, right? And the truth is that being ready is an illusion.
Yeah, you'll never be ready.
You're never ready, and that's okay. That's part of the experience.
Okay. Another clarification I wanted, because on Subto you offer to pay the seller agent commission and the closing cost, and then the equity, and then take over the payment. But say, for example, it's a $800,000 property, and then there's $700K loan. And if we pay the seller the closing cost and agent commission, say we pay, 80,000. So do we pay the seller 20,000, or do
Well,
we
your
pay
numbers are already off. Let me break this down for you. Give me 1 second. So you just said that you're going to pay 80,000. There's not enough equity there in that example. So,
Okay.
Let me share my screen real fast.
Because I'm in Maryland and our closing cost is one of the highest in the country. So
I love paying escrow fees.
Yeah. I'm like, that kills the deal if I pay so much closing cost.
I'm trying to find a pin that, okay, there we go. So you said 800,
Is the price.
right? So this is the purchase price.
Mhm.
And so you said they have a loan for 7K, 700?
Yeah.
So generally speaking, 10% is like a national average. Is this the actual closing in every state? No, that doesn't matter. What matters is you're negotiating and you're starting the conversation, because most people and or agents have no idea what the net's going to be anyways. Right. So I throw that out there and they're just a deer in headlights. And I go, don't worry, I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to lead you through this transaction. Okay. So if it's 800, we're looking at 720, right? Is what I call gross proceeds. I literally made that term up. I don't even think it's a real term. Okay. And then so now they've got, you said 700 on the loan. How much equity do they have? They only got 20K of equity.
I see.
Which is way underneath my 10%. ARV is 800, 10% is 80K. I want to be all in at 80K, which is closing costs, agent fees, reno, maybe it's a wholesaling fee included, whatever. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So how do you do this then?
What do you mean? How do I do it?
I want to be total 80,000, right? So here, if I paid 80,000, that's 10%. Okay, what's the minus 10%? That's the closing cost and the agent commission?
This is total closing fees. This is just closing costs. And you can say holding too. I'll say, maybe whatever. Excuse me, not holding. Closing costs, agent fees, escrow fees, transfer tax, all of that shit.
So then we can pay this 80,000. So we are in 10%, but then seller does not get anything. Right. And that's how we do the deal. Like seller gets nothing and then the agent gets paid and we pay the closing cost.
Well, that's a shitty way to do a deal. I'll tell you that right now. You're not going to get a whole lot of yeses.
Yeah.
No, you got to have cash to seller, right? So I got a deal right now in Florida, and there is, this is how much equity they have, right? And I'm paying them 5K. Why? Well, because it's their house, right? And I want them to walk away with something. I'm solving a problem. I don't ever pay sellers zero. That's not solving a problem, right? I'm basically creating equity out of thin air because their equity is zero. But I'm okay with that because my cash on cash return, right? I'm actually going to be able to wrap this or assign this deal and make money, right? So in that specific scenario, where there's $20,000 of equity, I'm going to pay the seller $20,000 of equity because they're asking. This is what I call equity at ask.
Okay.
Equity at ask. Is it their true equity? No, it's what they want.
I see. Not the true equity. That's the clarification I needed.
Right, because you know what, dude? Look, if somebody's letting you take a Subto, this is a favor. They're doing you a favor and you're doing them a favor. So this got to be reciprocal. They've got to come away with something. So I'm willing to give their equity at ask, even though it's on the market for 90 days and the market is shitting on them. I'll give them that equity, but I need something in return. I need terms that allow me to cash flow and give me appreciation. So there is never a point in time where I am giving the seller no money. And there are times when the agent wants more. And I ask them, do you think you're doing your fiduciary duty in this case? And usually they'll snap to and they'll go, no, give the seller more.
I see. Yeah, I had it backward. I thought it's 800 and it's 100K equity. Maybe we'll give the seller equity, with seller finance carry back second, and then we're gonna pay 80,000 agent commission and closing costs. So we're really at 880. But that's not the case. We're not paying over 800K.
No, you got to assess how much equity there is. If there is any equity over the 10% mark, then you can do second silence and stuff like that. But you know, if you stick to low equity sub twos, you don't have to.
Does it matter what interest rate it has to be? Like, does it have to be 5% or below or?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Most investors want cash flow. In year one. And if it's 5% or below, I cannot draw arrows. Then that may be the case. And in some cases, it can be 4% and it won't cash flow. You just got to run the numbers. But I can tell you with almost certainty, if it's above 5, it's not going to happen. Cool.
Okay, yeah, great. Thank you.
All right, go out there and get me a deal, bro.
I will. I was calling.
Yeah,
I
let's
just
go.
kind of opted in, so
Love it.
I got the list.
Appreciate you. I'll see you soon. Okay. I'm gonna go through these questions quick, so I want you guys to be very concise because we're running way over, and time is money. Jesse, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you today?
I am fantastic. Thank you for asking. What's up?
So it's my first time here, and I joined because I saw that you guys do Deal Machine and Driving for Dollars, and that's my bread and butter. I'm a wholesaler. I was in Western Washington. I'm in Eastern Washington now. It's a little smaller demographic, but we're way more red than the other side of the mountain. We're like Western Idaho versus Western Washington. But I think I just heard you say that you guys do cash in California.
Correct.
Okay, and do you guys do subject to in any other states?
Yes, we do. If you go to our chat and actually, if you're in the Circle app?
I just joined today. Yeah, I was with
Okay.
another group, but they focused on direct to lend or direct to agent, and I'm not good with that. I work much better talking to the owner.
Okay, great. Yeah. I will put this in the chat. Give me 1 second. These are the areas that I'm currently buying in and wholesaling creative deals.
Okay.
When it comes to cash in California, well, we are some of the best wholesalers there are. And if you have that, one of those deals will definitely help you. But if it's outside of that, my business partner and I, we made the decision to focus, guys, and only work in California with cash deals because it's working and we want to optimize the revenue in what we're doing and not splice our energy.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm trying to find a group where they're focused on more direct to seller because.
So wholesale in Washington, you said?
Yeah, in Eastern Washington. And I've been doing it for a couple of years, but I just discovered more of ACE Unity. I've been following Brent for years.
Yeah, I would ask around. I don't know anybody offhand. I know most of us are working in the Sun Belt. So do you know anybody, James, any elephant leaders that are doing Washington? I don't either.
Not really.
Well,
I know Carly lives out here, but
oh, she does.
Yeah, but she lives in Western Washington and she doesn't usually purchase out there. But
oh, maybe Creighton. I forgot about Creighton. He's up in that area. Creighton.
Yeah, I know Creighton.
Bertrand.
I would ask around. Jesse, I would ask around to see if any of the leaders are doing Washington. I don't know offhand if they are.
I might just have to figure a new demographic. I know how to virtually wholesale, so I can go someplace else as well.
If you do find deals in California, you will make money with us. I'm just saying.
All right.
All right, girl. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Last one. I'm Marisa Paul. How am I saying this?
Yeah, it's Amrit, or you can just call me Amrit.
Amrit, what's up, man?
Hey, nothing much, man. Thank you for taking my question. I just had 2 questions. The first one might be a little silly, but just about off-market deals. How does PropStream pull those off-market deals? Is a specific criteria, even though like you set your filter with a certain percentage of certain interest rate? Does it have any other filters?
What specifically are you targeting?
So I'm looking for sub-2 deals.
Okay.
So low equity obviously is the criteria that you've been talking about.
Right. Lower
Than 5%. So does it just pull up information that fits that criteria, any market on the house, or is there something specific to make it off market?
Here is the bummer about PropStream. Its MLS data sucks. period.
Yeah.
And so what we will often do, especially in California, is I will take MLS data, like active or expired listings, and I will feed that information into PropStream. It's what we call data stacking. And then from there, you'll see about 30% accuracy with PropStream from what I've seen in my numbers, which means that you're leaving 70% of money on the table with data. So that's what we'll do with the list that I'm like pinpointing like very specific areas. Like for example, Coachella Valley right now, I'm literally looking for a house for my family. So I'll take MLS information and then plug it into PropStream, and then I can see the mortgage and transaction history. And specifically what you're talking about in terms of off market, the target that I would be looking at would be expired listings. So you would get this expired listings pulled from the MLS, then you plug it into PropStream. Now, if you don't have MLS data, or if you're not an agent, you find agents and say, hey, I'm buying in this area. Like, I noticed that you were an agent. I just wanted to chat. This is what I'm looking for. And everything's in negotiation. I've had that conversation with like maybe 6 to 8 agents. They all want something different. They might want a piece of your deals that you're not going to take down. They might want a upfront cost. They might want a monthly cost, whatever it is.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I appreciate that answer. Also, one other question. I know you went over one property on Monday. It was 7314 Little Canyon Road in Dallas, Texas. And you said it was a good deal. I wasn't able to understand why you thought it was a good deal.
I can't remember offhand. Bring that address to our next meeting and I'll break it down for you.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay.
But
we'll do that.
Essentially, I probably liked the deal because it had low equity, most likely, and it was in a neighborhood that can cash flow, and the interest rate was probably low. That's probably why I liked it. Oh, and I think it was a foreclosure, wasn't it?
It was the one that really had like bad pictures. The pictures were a little blurry, and it was around $300,000 with. It's on PropStream. It said it was around $100,000 of equity.
Yeah, there's a sweet spot too, where like it's just above high equity. Excuse me, just above low equity. Like generally speaking, we're looking at like 80% loan to value, and if it's above that and it's a foreclosure, there's a good chance that you can get a good piece of equity in the deal. Like this one in San Antonio that we're closing on, there's like $61,000 of equity in it, and the guy's just walking away from it. So that's probably why I liked it.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Cool, man. Hey, thanks for joining us. All right, everybody. I am going to end this bad boy. James, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us, because everybody else was too cool not to. Gary had his meeting and Mike was too busy.
Well, thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me co-host and listen to you. Like, Patrick, I gotta say, like, the way that you talk and just the info, like, bro, you sound just like a radio host. Like, you've been talking and dealing, and man, your seller calls have to be insane. So like, it's been super impressive.
Yeah, check them out on YouTube. They're a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to, for sure.
Love it. Guys, thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to join us. And I hope, if anything, what you've taken out of this meeting is to take action, guys. All right. I will see you Thursday if you're an action taker. If you have not taken action yet, I will see you Monday. Thank you and have a great night. Bye,
What
guys.
time Thursday?
That's 12 p.m.
Oh, 12 p.m. Thursday.
Yep.
Cool. Tomorrow.
All right, guys. I will see you soon. Thank you.
Peace.
Bye.